Rough Riders playing Game 2 of a series against the Midland Rockhounds, and boy, what a way to start the road trip last night, Jason. A comeback victory in the 8th inning. Jake Skoll, the big base hit, and I'm sure that gets you feeling very confident going into the last 6 games on the road this season.
Well, let's put it this way, it helps. Early in that ball game last night, things weren't going our way as far as where we were hitting balls at guys. It just happened to not being able to drive in runs, but we were fortunate enough to have Scully up there in the 8th inning with the bases loaded, and he put together some sort of AB with 2 strikes and hit that double, got it up in that jet stream, and that wind took it and played with it a little bit, and we were able to put 4 runs across that inning for a nice victory, especially coming after 3 losses at home in a row, and so that was a nice start to a road trip.
You mentioned it, the missed opportunities earlier in the game, but what kind of character does it say about the team that they're able to basically forget about what happened with earlier opportunities and come through, with a fresh slate, still having not scored a run going up to the 8th inning at that point?
Yeah, as a manager, you sit back and you wonder if it's ever going to happen that late in the game, and we haven't been a team this year that's really done a whole lot of damage late in the game, but as of recently, we've had a few comeback victories, so that makes it nice. So that being said, I didn't know what to expect, but it was nice to see these guys put together some good ABs, work for the next guy, try to get the next guy up to the batter's box, and they did that, and we were fortunate enough to come up with a victory last night.
Jake Skoll has had a tough season offensively, but it seems like he has saved his best moments for late in games. He's had several big late base hits for your crew. Is there something about the ability to focus late that maybe allows Jake to do something like that late in a game?
I don't know if that's the case. I wish he could change a little bit to being, a little bit more early. But in a sense, I will take the outcome that he's had. He's had some clutch hits. He's had some clutch home runs at our ballpark early in the year, late in the game, like you've said. So, whatever it is, just keep doing it and hopefully he can ride it out this year.
Francisco Mendoza is a guy who's been hurt a little bit by the Rockhounds this year. He entered yesterday with an ERA over 6.5 against Midland, giving up a large number of the runs that he's allowed this season against this team. So I'm sure it was nice to see him exercise those demons in a way and throw 2 1/3 scoreless to close out the game.
The good thing about Mindy last night is he just pounded that strike zone. He threw strikes. He came after these guys. Coleman had a really, really tough AB against him to start the 9th inning, and we were able to get a fly out there, and he did his job. And, it's all we can ask Mendoza. He's been solid all year. I didn't really realize the numbers against Midland, but it was nice to see him finish that off for us last night.
The club has had a little bit of trouble over the last week with runners in scoring position. We saw it crop up over the San Antonio series and for the first 7 innings last night. Is that something that ebbs and flows over the course of a season, or is there maybe a particular art or skill to hitting with guys in scoring position that the team just wasn't following through for the last few days?
Well, the big thing is you hope as a team it doesn't get contagious. If there's 1 or 2 guys that can't get it done, you just don't want that to become contagious. And a lot of things in hitting offensively become contagious. And I know we've done a pretty good job for most of the year. As of late, bats might be getting a little bit slower. Mine might be getting a little bit tired. So, we just try to get through that. And hopefully that's not a sign of things to come later on this year. And we can do our battle when men are in scoring position to take advantage of it.
Over the course of the San Antonio series, you saw some of your starting pitchers struggle a little bit. Faulkner, Thompson, Chichi, for the first time in a long time. Is that any concern, or is it just a glip on the radar as far as what you've seen out of those 3 pitchers' performances?
Throughout the course of this year, our starting pitching has carried us, in a sense, I believe. And I don't think it's anything to be worried about, nothing real alarming. I think they just got to go out and do their side work and get back in their frame of mind of pounding that strike zone, getting after hitters, getting ahead of hitters. We look back at Chichi's performance the other night. It's not like he was banged around real hard. There was a couple balls that were hit hard, but a flare here and there, and a ball seems to find a hole. The next thing you know, there's 4 runs on the board, and that happens. That's the way baseball is. But he's in a good frame of mind. Faulkner's in a good frame of mind. He'll come back out and pound that strike zone tomorrow, and we look for good things out of those 2 guys.
For Faulkner and Thompson, those 2 are still learning the level too. I mean, Thompson only had a couple of Double-A starts under his belt when he came into the organization, so there's probably still some of that growing pain learning going on, right?
Absolutely, and that's what Jeff's here for. Jeff Andrews, our pitching coach, has done a wonderful job with all these starters, with this bullpen, and he has a lot to say to Faulkner, and he's going to help him out and get us through where we need to be.
It's not official yet, but it's looking very likely that Midland will be the playoff opponent in the South Division Championship Series. You play Midland a lot here over the rest of the regular season, 2 out of the last 3 series. Do you and the other coaches pay maybe a little bit closer attention to Midland's personnel than you would maybe at some point in April and May in a way to prepare yourself for how you guys want to approach certain players or certain pitchers when the playoffs do start?
Absolutely. I think you're taking more looks at each and every one of these players that they have thrown out there, and they've got some new faces as well. But they've got the likes of Muncie's and the Colemans and the Crumbles. The guys have been here all year, so but you get this Wilson in here, and you get some Myers in here. You haven't seen a whole lot this year, so as a manager, you kind of take a step back and see who likes to run, see who likes to bunt, see where they like to hit in counts. So you're taking a lot of this in because it's going to get crazy here in the next week or so, playing these guys as much as we do.
Potentially 11 out of 15 games against Midland. If the series that the Rockhounds in the playoffs goes 5 games, it will be a lot of Rockhounds in our lives. So, Jason, congratulations on the win last night. Thanks so much for the time today, and best of luck out there.
Okay, Alex, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
That's Jason Wood. We're back right after this here on the Frisco Rough Riders Baseball Network.